camera straight is always a challenge for me anyway. Well, the weather's better now. It's been raining on and off all morning. Just finished another 7 questions, which were fairly long. The chapters are about, I don't know, 200 words each, something like that. So thank you very much for the questions. As of late, I've been receiving messages with regards to ancient sites all over the world. I don't really know why I'm being asked those questions, because that's not really who I am, and I have no knowledge of ancient sites. I have no knowledge of Lemuria, even though people say you must have come from there and worked with crystals. That kind of stuff makes me chuckle. I've had many people, spiritual people over the 2 decades, tell me that I was a high priestess working at one of these sites and ancient temples. I tell you guys, I ain't got a clue. I have no idea about stuff like that. You know, I'm more about the here and now. I'm more about the present. And any ancient site that was an ancient site was a reason. There's a reason why they're an ancient site. And I believe in sacred ground. I believe in sacred space. And I try and create that in my living room or my healing academy. I understand people are drawn to certain walks. I went to a walk and I didn't know why I went to the walk till I actually found out at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning why I was dragged to that walk. They call it the Camino de Santiago de Compostela. I've been on this spiritual path for a long time, and I just like, normally when you go on them kind of walks, you go to find yourself, meaning that you've spent your whole life eating, drinking, sleeping and working, and then you go on a spiritual adventure, and then you open up to, oh shit, there's more to life. I'd been a healer for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, and every now and again I get pulled to a certain place. And if you read Seeing the Invisible, the book that I wrote, then in there you'll understand why I got pulled into that path, the Camino de Santiago. Then you'll understand, and only at that point where it happened then I understood why I was pulled there. But the point being is, there's places I've been to and I've always, like, they call them sacred places, right? Lemuria, Atlantis. Nobody really knows where any of those places are. Nobody really has the answers to all of that. But we do know that the sacred places like the Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, and so on. It's funny how I've never been pulled to those places, and even when I had all the time in the world and I started driving towards Stonehenge, for some reason, my guidance system kept pushing me away and kept making mistakes all the time, as if it was telling me not to go there. Weird, because when I'd finished that conversation, I spoke to somebody and they said, you know what, Mark? I'm not being funny, but these places have been ripped. They've been raped by its energy, and they've been utilised for all the wrong reasons now. And they're not sacred anymore. And they're not as sacred as they used to be, and so on. It's like, okay, I kind of understand that a little bit, because I have been to places where I think, well, maybe it was sacred, but it doesn't feel that now. I don't know. Who knows? I just feel energy and work with it. But interestingly enough, when people ask me about Lemuria and all these places, there's a reason why they're underneath the water, or they're no longer with us, because they served their purpose. They served the time that they were needed. And to go back to those sacred places, I'm not so sure. If you ask me about the world, Mother Earth she is a sacred place. Every tree that grows from every part of the world is a sacred space. You don't need to go to the pyramids to go underneath to start claiming that you can start channeling Cleopatra. You know, for me, I've never really understood any of that. You know, and anytime somebody says, well, try and, you know, look back on your past lives, I never see anybody like that. I only see, you know, somebody who's a mere mortal in scruffy clothes and like a beggar almost. Nobody. But everybody else seems to be, you know, some famous god or goddess or some king or queen or whatever. Never really understood that. Never really resonated with me at all. I like the here and now. We have enough to deal with instead of our past. I know a lot of people say, well, if you understand your past, then you'll understand your present. I kind of get that to a degree, but that's not my work, not my forte, not my energy, not my understanding at all. And what little I know is enough. Jesus Christ, just being a healer, working with people's energy is enough, is a lifetime in itself of work and real hands-on experience that needs to be done. And even to this day, what little I know, like I always like to say, the grain of sand on a beach, that's as much as I know, even about energy healing. To delve in other realms and under other, you know, sacred spaces, it really life doesn't take me there. It takes me to the here and now, and to try and help people feel better in the moment. So if it was that important, if it was that powerful, if it was that amazing, if it was, I don't know, maybe isn't it meant to be left behind and we're meant to create something here and now rather than, you know, pull our past into the future? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think that creating something now in the here and now, what you are, what you've got, what you hold, the gifts that reside within you, and the creativity that you've been, you know, blessed with, if you use it, then shouldn't we create something? That's why I create a sacred space. Every time I do a healing, every time I do a reading, which I've retired now, but that's what I did. Every time I did a beautiful flower blessing, I created that space in that moment, because that's the only space that should be. Going to sacred places, sacred spaces, never really resonated with me, and I tried to have an open mind, and I did, and it was nice, but it was never the same as just walking on a path, not knowing where I'm going, and then finding myself somewhere which is really beautiful, and feeling an immense energy of healing and happiness and joy. Sometimes them moments are so sacred to the flow and to your moment, without thought, without preparation. You know, that's why I often say, you know, let your dog take you for a walk. You'll be surprised where you go. Every time I jump on my bike here in Bali, I look up and say, take me to where I need to be. So I just jump on the bike and just drive. I don't think about what turning to take. I don't think where I should and shouldn't go. I just go. And I wrote about it. I think it was a blog, and I ended up in a sacred space where it was a healer, a Balinese healer, and he just said a few words to me while I was there, and I was splitting up from I'd just split up, so I didn't really know what I was going to do in my life, and this Balinese healer started giving me a reading. Basically, he didn't even realize what he was saying, and he channeled a message which was so beautiful and so healing that it just changed the way I saw things. And he couldn't even speak English properly, but it wasn't what he was saying, it was his energy, what was coming out of his mouth, and I could understand what he was saying, and it was so profound. My point being is that if we're always chasing something more spectacular, Lemuria, Atlantis, we chase these things. It's like a lot of the times I think we get deflated. Things I think sometimes should be left in the past, and it's beautiful, but it's almost like saying that you're not worthy, and the past is. It's like saying that where you are now isn't important, but Lemuria was. Now I wonder to myself, in 2 million years from now, I wonder what that generation of people will be thinking about here and now, what we went through, and our sacred spaces and places, and what we did to create in our own unique way. Okay, we don't have pyramids, but there's a lot of things that we create every day. There's a lot of things that we do in this world to shape the world in a lovely way. Who says that Lemuria got it right? Who says that Atlantis got it right? I mean, didn't it all fall apart? Didn't it all get swept under the water? Didn't it all disappear? Didn't all the people separate and swim to different islands and became different people? I mean, if it was all so perfect, and the point being is it meant to be forever? Is anything meant to be forever? The one thing that's constant that we all should be aware of is change, and that change is the flow. So that's what I work on daily, and what little we do in this world should make a difference. Do you make a difference? What is it you do that makes a difference? What is it that you do that carves into this world, this energy? Is it meant to be carved here and to be left here in the stone? Or is it meant to be an experience? Do you think that books are that important, that we look back and say, well, I wrote a book, so it's important? It's just paper, it's just words. Everybody's experience is just as relevant. Just because you don't write a book, you're not saying that your words are, and your life and your experience isn't that worthy just as much as somebody who might be wealthy and might have the power to carve into stone or to write a book. Every single day that you wake up is a page of a book, and your story at the end of this moment from life after life is when you see all them pages in front of your eyes and all those images of what you've done. There's your book. There's the most important thing in this world that you take away with you, and that consciousness then goes into the sea, the ocean of our spirit world, which then contributes in a most unique and beautiful expression that nobody else can copy. You are a book, and you are important, and everything that you go through and everything that you do is bloody really important. It's so important that they don't want you to know that it's important. Darkness doesn't want you to go back to your world to become more powerful, because that's what happens. As soon as your drop of that ocean goes back in there, it adds to the overwhelming understanding of every action, reaction, everything that you did on this world has an important role in the sea, the ocean of the spirit world, to grow stronger in everything that you've learned, whether good or bad, happy or sad, powerful or weak. It's all important. It raises a frequency even higher. And darkness doesn't like that. Darkness doesn't want you going to do that. Darkness stops. That's why the bullies stop you from going to tell somebody something wonderful. Darkness and bullies stop you all the time from doing anything. They want you to shut up. They want you to not speak. Darkness, your government, 3-letter agencies, all they do is want you to shut up. They want you to follow like sheep. They want you to be a copy of them. They want you to be dark. They want you to be evil. They want you to do the worst things. They want you to beg. They want you to be a slave. They want you to shut up. They want you to be part of what they want to create, and that's evil. They want you to be weak. They want you to shut up. They want you to not move. They want you to sit in a room and not think or feel. They want you to believe that you are nothing without them. That's what the bully does. And the government is the bully. The government is an excuse of an energy that is run by absolute tyranny, absolute evil, absolute paedophilia, absolute dark, evil, satanic energy. That's why you scratch your head every day wondering why they're doing what they're doing. And you know 1% of what they're doing. Most of the time they're doing the worst things behind our back. We know nothing about what these monsters do daily. And if we did, it'd be pretty frightening. I'm glad we don't know as much. So sometimes when you start delving down that dark hole, it's not so good. So spread as much light as you can, and remember, don't let the darkness pull you down. Don't let it enslave you. Become free and strong. My happiest moments were 20 years ago when I first started this path. And I had nothing, literally nothing. But within that nothing, I created so much. And I realized that wasn't nothing, that was everything. So when you think of, the energy of money as being everything, it's not true. It's not true. That is not true. You can create so much without it. You can do so much. Your path isn't about money. And people can say, well, you can say that now. I'll say, well, I can say it because I've been there and felt both energies. And I know sometimes having money isn't the best thing in the world. It makes you sometimes feel pretty shit because you've been brainwashed to believe that that's the answer. You've been brainwashed to believe that you have to, fulfill your dreams and keep going to become a millionaire or famous or rich or, important. It's all bullshit, guys. Because when you get there, it's deflated. It means nothing. The dream is what the real essence of life is. Dream the dream. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop having goals. Don't stop having aims. But don't ever get there because you'll get disappointed. Keep dreaming. And when you've got somewhere, dream again. Keep dreaming for different dreams and different. I was a healer and my dream was to help as many people as I could. My dream was to come to Bali. My dream was to give crystals away every day and help people. Done it. I'm here now. And now what? Is that so what? And I need to dream again. I need to find my dream. Write books. Do things that it's got nothing to do with money. Money is just an energy. That's all it is. It's nothing more. What you do see, though, when it comes to money, is you see the true colours within people, and it's not the money, and it's not like it's the root of all evil or whatever they call it. It's not money is the root of all evil. You know that. You're already going to tell me it's not that. What I'm saying is that you truly find out who somebody is when it comes to the energy of greed or money. You really truly see, oh yeah, I can see exactly what you're like. That's why when I used to open my academy and say to people, the first thing I used to say to them, if you're here because you want to be famous, if you're here because you want to be the best healer and want everybody to love you, if you're here because you want to make a fantastic living and you want to travel all over the world, get yourself off. Get yourself off now. This place isn't for you. Go and find another healing modality. But if you're here because what you want to do is heal somebody and make them feel better, If you look at another person when they get up from that healing bed and they're crying because they're feeling better after a lifetime of misery or abuse or sickness, and they feel better, and you feel that love and that healing at that moment, and that is what you do it for, then welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. You are a true healer. So you can talk about money as much as you want. You look at people and say, oh, now Bajerski's got money, who does he think he is? No, it's not about that at all. Still the same person as what I was. It's not like I'm rich, but I'm just saying I am comfortable now, and I'm still the person that I am. But my dreams, I want to dream another dream. I want to find new dreams. At the same time, I want to kind of not take on too much, so that I look back and think, what have I done? A lot of people are a little bit out of balance with life, and they don't really know what they want, and then they'll jump onto anything, and then they'll look back and think, shit, why did I do that? I'm very aware of that, and there's often I ride around on my motorbike thinking, oh yeah, I could buy this place and turn it into a lovely sanctuary, and everybody would heal. And then I'd think about all the crazes that might come, that cause, anger and resentment, and people on drugs, and people are being injected themselves, and all the issues that come with it, that you have to deal with human beings, that can be extremely challenging. Maybe not such a good idea. I drive around Spain thinking, oh, what if we buy this little coffee shop and make it into an organic, lovely place? Mark, you still have to deal with humanity, and humanity is not the same anymore. They've changed. Human beings have changed. They're not the same frequency and energy. It's not the same as it used to be. It really isn't. There are some beautiful souls in this world, but there is also a lot of lost souls now, a lot of disconnected souls after the jab. And remember, guys, there are a lot of people who took the jab, willingly and unwillingly. And the ones that will tell the truth will always say to you, Mark, I am not the same person as I used to be. Something's changed. And even those who have the courage not to have taken the jab, they also said, things aren't the same. I don't feel the same. And that is true. Things have changed. People are getting more aggressive. People are getting more depressed. People are getting more angry. People are lost. People are disconnected. So you have to deal with all of that. And I've done 2 decades of dealing with clients, 10,000 plus clients. I've done my time. Now I write books, and I try my best to help people in a way that I'm not affected by negative energy. So that's my form of truth and honesty. And I do my best in other ways that I'm not directly involved in, pure energy healing. I teach people to become healers and give them information that might help them along their journey, because there's always healers coming and going all the time. So there you go. I am not into the past. I'm into the present. I'm into here and now. I know nothing about Lemuria. I know nothing about any of the sacred sites at all. There's other people out there who study and understand that far more. I know there's people who go to these sacred sites and do rituals and drumming and work with crystals, and I don't know what they go for. A lot of them tell me they go there to heal the place or to get the energy from it. But honestly, I can just walk out of here and find myself a tree and sit down and be in a sacred, powerful place right there, because each tree is a sacred energy. Each tree is a spirit that's connected to every single root, that is connected to every single tree, which is connected to the whole of Mother Earth that I pick up on. And it's up to me to be able to get into that energy, into that sacred space. But that's how I see it. But I am wishing you a lovely day today, my second video of the day, and I just wanted to share with you that I know nothing about Lemuria. I know nothing about Atlantis or any of the other sacred sites. That's it. That's my truth. I'm a here and now guy. That's it. That's all I am. I'm wishing you a lovely day wherever you are. Bye for now. Take care. Have a lovely day.